Son, I figured when you were old enough, I'd talk to you about drugs. I'd tell you they're nothing but poison. Tell you to stay away from the garbage that pushes that junk. Only I never figured that I ought to be telling that to a 13-year-old.
If you don't teach your kids to say no to drugs, it's as good as saying yes.
Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this sun of yours, and all the clouds that lowered o'er our houses. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarms changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright our fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking-glass. I, that am rudely stamped, and want love's majesty to strut before a wanton ambling nymph. I, that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world, scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. In this weak, piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to see my shadow in the sun, and descant on mine own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to these fair, well-spoken days, I'm determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasure of these days. About a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs the murderer shall be. Down to my soul.
Feel compelled to rifle through its drawers, scratch Now covered the general information about the effects of drugs. Here is a summary of what you know. 1. How is the drug taken? 2. How does the drug change behavior? 3. What are the different behavioral effects of the specific type of drug? 4. Does the drug create psychological and/or physical dependence or tolerance? Later on, you will be given information on different types of drugs. To give you an idea of how this outline works, I will describe the effects of marijuana with the help of my assistant. Marijuana is usually inhaled from a kind of cigarette. Marijuana changes behavior by briefly stimulating and then depressing activity. It can also change behavior by creating mild hallucinations. Different people taking marijuana may see different things. Assistant 1 might have this reaction, whereas marijuana might cause Assistant 2 to see this. Some people do not hallucinate. Marijuana may make the same person hallucinate one time and hungry the next. Marijuana creates a psychological dependence. No tolerance is developed. Knowing how a drug is taken, how it affects behavior, and what kind of a dependence it creates will help you decision makers identify the type of drug disaster. You people are the decision makers. The data on the effects of drugs which you now have is only one area which you must consider in trying to figure out the nature of a drug disaster. There are other clues which you must consider. The diagram that you see is a summary of the different areas you must cover. In other words, for each type of drug, for example, LSD, narcotics, barbiturates, etc., you will be given information about need, source, use, effects, and medical treatment. Only when you have all this data will you be able to make an accurate decision about the type of drug being used. We can cross out drug effects since you already know about these.
Today we're talking to the original Share the Ride with a Friend man. You, sir, are Noah of Noah's Ark fame.
That's right. I had 2 lizards, 2 monkeys, 2 snails, 2 snakes, and 2 rhinos get together and share the ride. 2 falcons. Boy, were they hard to get aboard.
Well, one of the great things about carpooling is all the money you can save.
Absolutely.
Then actually, when you did do the whole number with the...
The whole number? Is that a thing you say nowadays?
That's a current
yeah, okay,
terminology.
fine.
So today, the best thing you could advise people to do is...
Share the ride. It worked out for us, and so when you share a ride with somebody, make an animal noise. It's kind of fun.
By the way, did you call it carpooling way back then?
No, we did not have that word. We called it kalaka.
Kalaka, is that...
Kalaka, yes. In Babylonian, that meant carpool.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.